Hello, everyone. Hold on, I'm trying to find the music. There we go. I turned it down. Sorry about that. A new audio button, and I don't know how to work it. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I hope you guys are well. I'm wave meteorologist Brian Goode. Back today, but I will be back out again for the rest of the week. I'll be back next week. So there's some things I'm having to take care of. So I appreciate you all and your patience with me this week and the blog. But Tawana and Carson are going to keep you updated here with blog updates this week. So make sure to tune in. So I appreciate their help on that. All right. And we're going to get into, obviously, still the winter forecast for next week. More on that here in a second. As always, appreciate you guys on your comments and on our social media pages as well. And that's where you can comment at. If you're watching on streaming, you can't really see the comments I'm referring to, but if you want to, that is where you can chime in and join in on the conversation, as we have a lot of folks that are our family here on the block. So appreciate everyone that always chimes in anytime we're on. Okay, let's get to the most important thing, and that is obviously the winter countdown. 59 days. 59 days. Tyler, I saw your comments. Won't be long, my friend, and we'll be gearing up for this, getting ready for your photos as well. Tyler does a great job with photos, send them to us and all the weather events. All right, 59 days and counting, which, again, you'll get the at least a sneak preview of this and how the winter is looking coming up as we head into Halloween night. And it'll be during trick-or-treating time. The exact time, I always try to keep a little bit of a surprise. You just got to wait for the notification to come out. But that's how you will be notified, is the Wave Weather app. So make sure you get it downloaded and tell your friends. That's how they're going to have to get it too, to download the app. All right, let's look outside. Not much to track, right? A few high clouds streaming in. There are more just to the north of us that will be heading our way. In fact, hold on one second. Let me go back to that. I don't think it's going to be an increase in clouded setup that's going to make us overcast or anything today, but I do think we'll have at least some high clouds, perhaps closer to sunset. But because the clouds and the dry air that we've got, we're going to try to get close to record territory today here in Louisville. I think we'll get to about 84, but the record is 86. I mean, that looks safe, but I mean, still, we're getting up there. And I do think we have a chance with our next warm spike on Friday to get to that level. But it'll be the same issue, as I'll show you, of cloud cover and when does that arrive, and whether or not that kind of ruins the show on getting to that record or not. I don't think anyone's too thrilled about record highs in October. They went normal weather. No one really wants really chilly air in October, at least cold, unusually cold. Everyone wants it just kind of Goldilocks. And even I'm a fan of that. As much as I love snow, I don't really want it in October. I think it kind of ruins things, and I kind of like the fall dry weather kind of look to it all. Anyway, I digress. Will this front give us any rain tonight? Well, as you can tell, there's only a few blips on the radar into Sioux City area, but that is not really reaching the ground even there, so it's having a tough time. So the answer to that is more than likely no. We're going to add just a couple of drops in the forecast for tonight, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. Here's how the front moves in. You see it brings in the high clouds, but I still think it's going to be so late in the day that Louisville and some of our central Kentucky counties do have a chance for a nice little spike up in temperature. Indiana would have a lesser chance of that because you'll be first to experience the clouds. Passes on by. Now, this front, being a dry front, will actually just reset our temperatures a good 10 to 15 degrees for tomorrow. So tomorrow, a beautiful day, cooler. If you want a little more of a fall feeling tomorrow, you're not a fan of the 80-degree temps, so tomorrow is a nice day for that. But it won't last long because then we bounce right back up again on Friday. But again, Friday, another front moves into the area. So there's a lot of questions of whether or not the front will move in time to cut us off on getting to matching that record, because I do think the clouds are going to be a little more scattered, a little more thinner than what the modeling is showing, just because we are in a drought scenario. And sometimes the bases of the clouds end up being a lot higher in reality when the system moves in. And that prevents the raindrop. Even if the rain forms on the radar, prevents it from really getting down to our level. So that's the reason why we still got to keep the rain chance low on Friday afternoon and Friday evening. But if there's going to be any brief shower or light sprinkle potential that will move in, there you may notice it would be that Friday afternoon window through about, say, 10 o'clock. The only thing that we're watching, as you can see here, is the front becomes, once again, horizontal, because the wind flow in the southern United States is just, it's not dead, but it is very, very quiet. And because of that, these fronts move in, very much a summer-like pattern. These fronts move in, but they don't have the low with it still to keep pushing the front into the southeast corner of the country. The low is way up into the Great Lakes and just leaves the front behind. And when the front gets left behind, it tilts usually over Kentucky just because of geography. And because of that, there is a rain chance that may linger into Saturday, especially for Kentucky with the front being draped out like that, at least for a few hours early on Saturday. Just want to mention that potential. Again, mainly Kentucky and more than likely mainly south of the parkways is what I'm referring to, but just FYI. But because of that front, we will reset again for the weekend. Nothing overly dramatic, 60s for highs. Yes, there's the rain snow line. Hello, rain snow line, miss you. There it is across the northeast into Nova Scotia, into the northeast part of the country. Looks like a very cold weather, but it's, again, you're looking at temperatures aloft here, and that's how the best way I can show the change in weather patterns. And it just shows the cooler than normal pattern aloft. And you can see that that does at least give us a glancing blow there for cool weather for Saturday and Sunday. So a nice fall, cool weekend for sure. Just watching Saturday morning for lingering clouds there with that front. Okay, Halloween week. Well, things get a little more interesting. Large high pressure, very strong high that has been over us, is still influencing our weather next week. And because it is a clockwise flow, we're going to get warm air flowing right into the Ohio Valley again. So expect another surge of 70s, perhaps even lower 80s for early next week. But this time, this front has more of a kick to it and a strong low. There were signs there for a while that a low pressure could form on the southern part of this front. The trend on that, since I've seen you guys last, has been fading away to where this looks to be a front that will just move in. But it will do something similar to Friday's front. It moves in, but then could become horizontal right over Kentucky as it moves in. And the moving in period right now, at least on the Euro, GFS doesn't even have this. Euro, not really either, or the Canadian. Even the Icon doesn't have it, but the Euro does. The Euro says, okay, the front is going to stall Halloween afternoon into wave country, then do its tilt idea. And then when it does the tilt, that will then make it a warm front, setting the stage for what looks to be a much more southern low pressure that is going to form. And I think this is going to be the one that will be what will be labeled as the election day storm. I got a feeling, or at least this is the system everyone's going to be talking about, because I think it will be a much bigger mid-latitude cyclone than we call these for the United States, and that would be election time period. I don't know if it'll be election day before or after, but I think this is going to be one that we'll be watching for early November. But for Halloween, it doesn't look overly ominous right now because the front is going to be slowing down, losing a lot of its push. That reduces your severe risk because it's losing the forcing. It will be windy, but your severe risk can go down with this scenario. It could just be an issue. We may get rain on Halloween. It's an issue. Does that actually move in or not? CSU, the Colorado State Learning Module, the AI for severe weather that does fairly well. You see it sees the front show up there on Tuesday, and then here's the 30th. But notice the severe risk, if you look at the map, it's drawn over Missouri into the Midwest, upper Midwest area. And when you look at Wednesday, the day before Halloween, it's basically still there because the front is already slowing down dramatically, and that is a key player. If we see that this is trending a little faster with it, or we have a little more of a push into the Ohio River Valley, this could get flagged as an alert day just because of strong wind potential and a few gusty thunderstorms at a time when everyone will be outside, which would be for Halloween. That is possible just for some impacts we could see from the system. So at least want to caution that this could get flagged later and if the data trends that way. But we are watching it carefully. And right now, given how quiet our weather pattern is, certainly this system will probably be the main one we'll be talking about into the extended. And speaking of that, you're going to ask about what about snow chances? Well, as always here on the blog, especially when we get into the snow talk season, I'd like to take a look at the long-term Euro data on snow potential because I don't like the maps. Sometimes you can get crazy with the maps. You can see a big blizzard show up in some of these models like 2-3 weeks out and it's gone. I think it's easier to do this where it takes all the different modeling ideas and you look at trends. You're looking at trends, not specifics. And on this chart from the long range Euro, it starts to show that some potential mid-November for at least some snow on that, but the signal gets a little noisier Thanksgiving into early December. That's just the Euro, not all the modeling. Of course, I show with the snow potential, but that is one of them. All right, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes, snow lovers. It's obvious we got some time is what I'm trying to say, and that is the important part. All right, let's get into the 10-day and show you these numbers. Again, about 84 as we hit into today, and then we get into that drop tomorrow, back up Friday, back down Saturday, back up Monday, back down at some point around early November. All right. Any questions? Carlos, I hope I answered your question just now on the snow part. Lauren, I'm enjoying the warmth. I think a lot of people do like the warmth. I mean, record highs may be a little much, but hey, see. Any severe weather, Adam? I hope I answered that question for you. Right now, I don't think so. Again, really the front needs forcing on it to get to a little more of a concern, and moisture too. Moisture is going to be lacking, but if we don't get the jump there, that's going to be an issue. Okay, David, runners from the area heading to Disney November 1st through the 30th. Any tropical concerns there? Well, David, let's I'll tell you what. Let me hold on one second, and we'll go back to that Euro, to that long range. There is some tropical noise, mainly around Cuba, and getting again south of Cuba, really the southern and southeastern Caribbean lights up. So here we go. Here's the animation of it, and yeah, you see right there as you get into the first and second, there is some noise that is showing up there in southern Florida. That's the only thing you got to watch. Right now, I'm thinking this is going to be more of the, again, the Antilles area and Cuba, and maybe Puerto Rico may have to deal with some tropical activity around the first and second, but that there is a possibility that there could be some impact on Florida. But right now, that high pressure is so strong that that could be your saving grace. So I hope that helps at least a little bit, and you're playing in there. Okay. All right, guys. I appreciate all as always. I got to run, get ready for the midday show, but again, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to always catch those on the flip side when everything's done and over with there. But just a reminder again that winter forecast coming out Monday, or actually Thursday night, next Thursday night, Halloween night there. All right, guys, I'll see you at 11 a.m.